Okay, if you're a nurse, you know the drill. Patient education, it can take up a huge chunk of your day. So today, we're going to dig into something pretty cool, how AI can completely flip the script on that whole process. We're talking about creating better, faster, and way more effective teaching materials for every single one of your patients. I mean, just look at that. Going from 20 minutes down to 2, and the patient actually understands it better. That's the core promise here. Seriously, imagine slashing your paperwork time while actually improving patient comprehension. It almost sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly the potential we're going to break down right now.
So, here's what we've got on tap. We'll start with the problem, that patient education time sink. Then we'll jump into the 90-second AI fix and the simple template that makes it all work. We'll look at it in action, see how to tweak it for any patient, and then wrap up with what this all means for the future. All right, let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the patient education time sink. You know, that daily challenge of getting good instructions together. Every nurse knows this feeling, right? You're at the end of a long shift, trying to get a patient discharged with clear instructions, and you can just feel the clock ticking. It's a total time sink.
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes. Let that number really sink in for a second. For just one patient, maybe someone with heart failure, you could easily spend half an hour typing up custom instructions. That's a full 30 minutes that you're not at the bedside, not doing direct patient care. It adds up so fast.
And this really lays out the impossible choice you face every single day. So what do? Option 1, you grab a generic handout that, let's be honest, barely applies to your actual patient. Option 2, you spend that 20 or 30 minutes writing something from scratch while other tasks pile up. Or option 3, you just explain it all out loud and cross your fingers they remember it when they get home. None of these are ideal, are they? It's a real dilemma. Okay, so let's get to the good part. Section 2, the 90-second AI solution. This is all about how AI can completely change that workflow. If the old way is broken, this is how we can fix it. 90 seconds. Seriously, we're going from 20, even 30 minutes down to a minute and a half. I mean, think about it. You can create a totally custom, personalized handout in less time than it takes to find the right file on the shared drive and walk over to the printer. It's a total game changer. And here's the most important part. This isn't just about speed. It's about quality. The stuff the AI generates is actually better. It's personalized right to your patient's condition. You can tailor it to their reading level. It's comprehensive, it's easy to get, and all of that frees you up to, actually be a nurse. All right, Section 3, your core prompt template. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually do this? Well, the secret sauce, the engine behind this whole thing, is what we call the core prompt template. It's a super simple formula that gets you amazing results. It's actually a lot like just having a conversation. You just follow these 5 simple steps. First, you give it the context. Who is this patient? Then you give the AI a role, like, hey, you're a cardiac nurse. Third, the action. What do you need it to do? Create a handout. And finally, you tell it the format and tone. How should it look and sound? That's it. You're just giving it clear directions. So really, a core prompt is just a detailed recipe. That's all it is. You're just giving the AI a clear list of instructions, and in return, it cooks up the exact high-quality handout you need. And the best part? It works every single time. Okay, Section 4, prompts in clinical practice. Enough with the theory, right? Let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to do a little before and after with a heart failure handout to show you what a huge difference this makes. Okay, so here's the before. This is that generic handout we've all seen a million times. I mean, come on, watch your diet. What does that even mean? Or call if you feel bad. How bad? These instructions are so vague, they're almost useless. You're basically asking the patient to guess, and that's just not safe. And now, the after. Look at the difference. This is what you get from a good prompt. It doesn't just say, watch your sodium. It says, keep it under 2,000 milligrams a day and stay away from deli meat and canned soup. It doesn't just say, take your water pill. It explains why, that it helps get extra fluid out of your body. And this is the big one. Instead of check your weight, you get a crystal clear command. Call the doctor if you gain this much weight. See, this is information a patient can actually use. All right, Section 5, adapting for every patient. Because customizing education for specific needs is where this gets really powerful. That heart failure example, that's just scratching the surface. The real magic is how you can tweak this for literally any patient, no matter what their needs are.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but what about my patients who struggle with low health literacy? And that is such a critical question. All that medical jargon is a massive wall for so many people. So can AI help with that? The answer is not just yes, it's that this is where it shines the brightest. Just look at this side by side. On the left, you have typical medical speak. On the right, all you have to do is add one little phrase here prompt, something like, write this at a 5th grade reading level, and bam, you get a totally different result. Dense sentences become super simple ones. Your heart is weak, fluid builds up in your body. It's so clear. This simple change transforms the handout into something anyone can understand. This is a huge deal for health equity.
Okay, let's zoom out for our last section, the future of education. What does this all mean for you and your patients down the road? What's the real impact of having a tool like this in your back pocket every day? It really creates this amazing positive cycle. First, you save a ton of time, right? That's huge. That extra time means you can give patients instructions that are actually clear and simple. And when patients really understand their care plan, they feel more in control, which leads to better outcomes and fewer readmissions. And for you, it means less time drowning in paperwork and more time doing what you got into nursing for in the first place, taking care of people.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about shaving a few minutes off your paperwork. It's about fundamentally changing your workflow. It's about reclaiming a huge chunk of your day. So the question I really want to leave you with is this. With all that time you get back, what could you accomplish? What more could you do for your patients? And honestly, for yourself?